Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Amazing Spider-Man issue 60. Oh yeah, really nice cover there. This is the end of Zeb Wells' run, and we get a lot of content in this. This thing is $7.99, so if you've not been happy with this, and you don't want to see the end, and the price is just too much for you, I totally understand that. I think this has a nice conclusion and has a lot of different kind of art styles and a lot of different kind of stories to kind of wrap everything up to head us into 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. And we'll see how that kind of works out. I've liked how this creative team has been going, and if you disagree with that, that's cool. I completely understand that. Don't get this. You know, like, save your money for the stuff that's good. I'll see how the next kind of thing works out, because this at least has consistently had the creative team working in a nice kind of rhythm, sometimes some shifting of like people coming in to do different kind of writing duties, but that is going to be more in flux from what I've been seeing for the next one. So if anything, I might check out 8 Deaths, see how that kind of works out, and then see what they're going to be doing from there, because it seems to be doing, let's see here, I mean it's in the fan letters, runs from 61 to 70. So we'll see how that kind of works out. That's about like 5 months because of this coming out twice a month. So let's get into this and see where we conclude our things. New York City. To say this court is shocked and disappointed is an understatement. Counsel Lee, your client was not granted bond to rampage through the city in combat with Spider-Man. And this trial was granted on the strength of your witness, Madam Prosecutor, a witness who has now left the state. I'm like, because Tombstone tried to kill her? You know, okay? Your Honor, we believe Janice Lincoln's departure is directly related to I don't care. I've read your report, Mary. The only statements I could find that aren't hearsay or conjecture were given by Spider-Man, a masked vigilante. Okay. Who, I'd like to remind the court, was brought to the hospital by my client before Mr. Lincoln turned himself in. Again, Counsel Lee, I do not care. I know there are judges in New York City who are happy to bend precedent to allow superheroes to infect their cases. I am not one of them. What? Alright. The unsanctioned attack of Lonnie Lincoln by Spider-Man has irreparably tainted this case. With the disappearance of the prosecution's witness, I have no choice but to dismiss. What? I'm kind of with Peter on this. I mean, there's evidence of Lonnie Lincoln attempting to kill, or at least severely hurt and intimidate, the fucking witness. Which also happens to be his daughter. I told you that judge was tough. Tough? He's letting Tombstone walk because Spider-Man wouldn't let him murder our witness. Parker, let's take a ride. I think I'll walk. I'm well past fool me twice when it comes to getting in your car. I just want to talk. We can do it here. Give me an excuse, Lincoln. I'm begging you. It's okay, Jen. What do you want? Got a message for Spider-Man. You want me to tell him you won? That this is all his fault? That the whole case fell apart because he was dumb enough to stand up to you? I want you to tell him I got to the judge. What? This isn't Spider-Man's fault. It's just one of those things. Like, fucking figures. Why are you telling me this? Because I want him to know he won, fair and square, but that's not how the world works. It's like, okay. Apparently not. Is that it? No. I want you to thank him for me. He'll know why. You're a weird dude, Lincoln. Fucking preach it, Parker. So we switch over to later with Aunt May. And this is a pretty cool thing going on here. It's kind of just a random one, but it ties back into what stuff's been going on. So I really like how this kind of ties the Lonnie Lincoln stuff down. What comes up here. May, Peter, what happened? Oh, you know, everything. None of it good. Is this about the Tombstone business Spider-Man got you involved in? I really wish you would stay away from him, Peter. He's going to get you killed someday. Yep. May I... What the... And I kind of like how this is done to show the police cars whizzing by. I know that sound as we see that Sandman's in play. Get everyone inside and lock the door. Peter, where are you going? I've got to grab something. Grab something? What are you talking about? Peter? And we get people with their cell phones. And a nice shot here of Sandman just being like, fuck off, babe. We need backup. I've got eyes on the suspect. It's William Baker. Ha! Afraid not. Flint Marco is back, and unfortunately for you, I need money and I hate cops. And pretty much blasts them out, but Spidey's able to catch one. Hey, I think you mean hey, thank you. Whatever, just put me down. It's like, alright. Sandman, didn't I hear someone turned you into a glass sculpture? Yeah, you. Right. Use the gadget to fry Electro and you got caught in the crossfire. See Amazing Spider-Man 945. Sorry, memory's a little fuzzy on account of being in Goblin mode at the time. But I did remember that I had a gadget just for you as well. Too bad. It's like, oh god. Oh, this is a really good one here. Just showing how Sandman works. You'll never get a chance to use it. Looks like your bare hands will have to be enough. Okay, fine. And then we get a nice shot of him just like smashing into Sandman there. Oh, get back here. Sure, right after I grab my... May, are you looking for this? What are you doing here? You're supposed to be... Move. Oh dear. Gah. We also get a nice Spidey sense. But then he gets wrapped up by Sandman. You're out of trick, Spider-Man. Sorry, but that's demonstrably false. Look down. Huh? As we see... Yeah. Well, that worked. Did I just help you kill someone? What? No! The sound oscillates at a frequency that prevents Sandman from forming. Look, he's pretty much immortal at this point. I love the Spidey. He's like, listen, don't worry. This motherfucker really can't be killed. I can just, like, fuck with him for a little bit. We're alright here. But more importantly, what are you doing here? I thought Peter told you to stay inside the feast center. So he did sneak off to call you. I knew it. Do you know what you're doing to that young man's life? What? Have you seen his face? This business with Tombstone almost killed him, which is just the latest in the long line of close calls he's endured as a result of helping you. Peter's got a good heart. Aren't you worried you're going to get him killed? Yeah, of course I am. Then leave him alone, please. He can't keep running off to find you at the first sign of danger. And it's like, okay, May, nice to stand up for Peter, but... Let's see here. Do you know what he's given up to help you? The relationships he's lost out on, the work? Do you have any idea what you've cost my nephew? I do, yes. Then please, I'm begging you, leave Peter Parker alone. As we see him with sand everywhere and all that, and then we see him being like, May. Wait, Peter, he works with me because he wants to help. No, that's not right. He needs to help. We've gone our separate ways a few times, and it never sticks. And I love how Spidey explains this to her and how it kind of works out. And I really like this getting to who Peter is. Because he knows if someone is in trouble and he doesn't call me, well, he won't be able to live with himself. Because he wouldn't have done everything in his power to help. And then he wouldn't be Peter Parker, as May understands that as well. You be safe out there, Spider-Man. You too, Mrs. Parker. Harlem. I know you're there, Rabbit. You got something to say, say it. I'm leaving, boss, and I'm not coming back. This about Janice? You sent me to kill my friend. Thought I'd do anything for you. I was wrong. I know you wouldn't do it. That's the bigger problem. I knew you would. It's like, shit, this is both like a situation of like, oh, fuck. I didn't. Yeah, why not? And I love that he's like thinking about it, and then his face kind of going in a little different direction. See you around, boss. I'm taking Kareem with me. So he just sits there and drinks. So we get to Queens. So I called Spider-Man, but then it was like a sandstorm blew in, and I ran right into a light post. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for bad luck, Peter stopped. I know it's hard to believe, but that's not what I mean. I've done a lot of thinking today, and I realized something. Something I knew, but didn't know I knew. And that is, when my nephew runs off, tells a white lie, or gets himself hurt, it's because someone needs help, isn't it? Yes. And I like that she gets close, but doesn't get quite to it. I know this is silly, but I think Ben is smiling somewhere. It's not silly at all, May. Let's not let the food get cold. Oh, did you know him seeing someone, Shay? It's all Anna talks about. Speaking of, she told me that Sandman was an absolute sweetheart, but he looked like a real fuck to me. Or shit, or anything. I put in whatever. Hey, oops, sorry, as that's the end. So, we dance around. May could know. May just might be like, and that's the end there before we get to pretty much these extras that I think do a pretty good job of wrapping up other kind of loose ends and setting us up for a Death of Spider-Man. So, we pop off with Doctor's orders to pretty much check in on Wreck-Rap. So, he will definitely be in play. There's bruising on his heart, but I think he'll make a full recovery. He got stabbed in the chest by a goblin glider. If all it did was, like, bruise his heart, what the fuck? I don't usually treat cases like this. Still, I'm glad you brought him in. You say he's a rescue? Oh, he's not, mine, but I guess I have rescued him before. He's rescued me a couple of times, which is embarrassing, right? Who rescued who? Very heartwarming. But to confirm, you're taking responsibility for the animal's care? Animal, wait, he's not my pet. You're giggly gob darn right. Me and the web wiping spider guy are partners. Web wiping? Should you let him play with the device that injured him in the first place? He bit me when I tried to take it. Maybe he should be rehomed. He's fine, really. Hit button. Yowza, wreck wrap. As we see him sitting there with that, and I kind of like that when he's put in kind of a situation where Spidey can still be kind of funny, but like when he's got to be the straight man to wreck wrap, and then we also see the bite mark. It's like shit. So wreck wrap's flying off with the glider. Crazy fucking style. It's like, oh god. Take the night off, Wall Scooter. New Yorkie has another hero guy tonight. The web wangin' wreck wrap is here to stay. Sorry, Joe. Now you have to use him. Zeb and Ed. That will be $3,000. What? Sorry, Spidey. So we shift off to Team Up Part 2. Where, of course, we had Ed McGuinness art, and now we've got Todd Nuck. And this was pretty interesting, and I like the art style here with all the different kind of colors and shit. Your temple of color has fallen. All pigments belong to me. The dichromator. Dichromator? Yeah. I'll have chit-chat just to say you tore up a rave in Williamsburg. But this is as far as you go. How will you stop me, red plus white plus yellow? Have the cones of your color sponges not seen my power? With the prismaticon, I have scattered red plus blue. As we see things going kind of crazy. And then we see that Spidey gets changed up into different kind of colors. It's never really kind of explained how this kind of works out. You did something, that's for sure. I'm your friendly neighborhood yellow plus green. I'm your friendly neighborhood green plus black. I'm your friendly neighborhood... Guys, we can't do this every time someone mentions us. I kind of have my hands full, Jackpot. It's like, yeah, when Spidey's like, oh fuck, I gotta deal with this shit. Just keep him, I just need you to keep him busy for a few more seconds. The color of your words clash with the hue of reality. A lifetime of seconds would not be pallid enough to defeat me. It's like, okay. Because I just spun a wild card, and that means I hit the jackpot, and the power I'm about to get is just the power I need. And she pretty much blasted and going, hey! Corporeal form desaturated. My inner color bleeds together. I'm going to, and then, whoosh, it's like, okay. It's Chasm's looking. I was like, alright. Later. I told you this was all related to that blasted dub stand music. Oh, okay, Jonah. Not really, but alright. It wasn't the music, Jonah. Colors have meaning and power wherever dichromator came from. For all we know, the lights of that festival called him here. Probably. Stop the presses. This just in. I don't give a blast. I've been trying to bring that thing to justice for months. I'm just glad he blew up way back in Amazing Spider-Man issue 826. Yeah, I got nothing on that. What's with him? Got his pigment split by a magical prismatic artifact. I think it's wearing off. I'm the friendly. I swear to God, fellas! I'll swing by Dr. Strange's after just to be sure. He helped me prepare for Dichromator's return. Strange? This was my collar. Wait a minute. It's 8:30? 8:30? 8:30? What the hell are you two? Cram it, Jameson. We've got to go. It's like, ah, shit. And it's actually kind of cool because it was brought up in, like, Captain America about, like, heroes needing other heroes to kind of, like, talk to. And then having Peter being able to talk to MJ about this. And that actually looks really cool. I kind of like them both kind of just jumping in like that. And I like that page layout and how they're both presented just in their super poses. We're dead. I know. We told them to be there at 8. We told them it wouldn't be weird. And now they're in a restaurant staring at each other. We were, what were we supposed to do? We were saving the city. Now you know how it feels. I'm like, yes, Peter. It's like, bring it. Why did you want a double date in the first place? Shay doesn't want to have dinner with your ex. It was Shay's idea. Aunt Anna got in her ear. She loves Shay. She loves you. She thinks you'll love each other. And she's the Terminator when she's pitching her favorite niece. She will not stop until you are friends. I would be very... Yes, I understand the fucking horrendousness of trying to deal with somebody like that. So, yes, Peter sells that completely. 6 messages from Paul. He's definitely there. Geez, this is stressful. Right? Now, woo! I love them bonding like this. Now, I'm more, of course, of Pete and MJ together as a couple, but I like this different kind of bonding for them now. It would be better if they were trying to do this together, but we'll see. Hold the door. Okay, we're showing up late together. That's not great. Oh, come on. You talked your way out of worse jams than this. I should know. I used to be the jam you were talking your way out of. Ha, you're right. We've got this. Peter? Yeah? This is kind of great, isn't it? Finding a color demon, arguing with Jonah, rushing across town so we don't disappoint our dates. It's fun, right? I'm having fun. I'm glad we're here. That's great, MJ. Look, we should really... You brought me home. Didn't stop looking for me. Not until you found me. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for coming to save me. It's like, that's cool. But, MJ, you don't have the Parker luck. This normally doesn't work out in the favor of the person that it's happening to. I'll always come for you, MJ. Eventually. I love that little eventually thing. And I like that. Peter would always come and help her. And come and find her. It's just what it is. Even if you talk about her as a sister or whatnot. Always. Alright, let's do this. Hey, sorry we're late. You'll never believe. It's fine. Paul told me all the downtown trains were messed up because of a supervillain in Williamsburg. Of course you did. Thanks, babe. Hey, if I had a dime for every time a supervillain had made me late, I want to hear about everyone. Waiter, bring me some dimes. Ha ha. Oh, God. What? You laugh. Now he's not going to stop. Here, a quick study, and we see, again, Chasm looking in. And I really like the art style for that story. It worked very well. We got some action, and we got just mainly some talking. Now this, I really fucking loved this story, too. Now, I like that one because of the bonding between Peter and MJ. This one's really great. You know, you don't have to come out every year. No, you made it clear this was important to you. Never meant for it to become a thing. Was having a bad day. You're having a bad special day. Not gonna happen on my watch. We ride this out together. You want some more milk or what? Better not. I'm driving. Funny. I don't think he meant that. Look at that. 12:01 in the AM. Day's over. You know, speaking of things we don't have to do every year, and we see him hanging out with Wolverine and then getting his mask back on. Could have lived without the pointless bar fight. Got bored. Maybe next time you'll bring me a present. And this is great. I love Spidey and Wolverine's relationship. And this was just a cool little story called Bubs. And Paulo Rivera, you do a very good Wolverine and Spidey. I kind of want your shit doing on this. Like, that would be really good. The X symbol, really good. Same time next year, that's how these things work. Yeah, hey, no joke. Appreciate you coming out again. Told you. I'm never gonna miss it. Happy birthday, Logan. You're a good guy. Heh, right. See you around, bub. So we see Spidey dressed in some winter clothes walking on the roof, and I'm like, that's awesome. And Spidey would do that. Even, like, I don't know how long Spidey would live for. Probably not as long as Wolverine, because Wolverine would probably outlive him, but he'd do that until the day he died. And I just love this little story. And it's just really cool. We get a nice John Cassaday tribute here. Seeing Cap, the X-Men, Star Wars, all that. Then we shift to same Spider channel. This one with Patrick Gleason. And this has some really good Spidey art in it, man. Yeah! So, come on, Bushwhacker. If you didn't want me around, you should have put silencers on those things. The noise is the point, Spider-Man. Wanted a chance to pay you back for tuning me up in Texas. You must store your bullets where your brain should be. I never fought you in Texas. Sure you did. Had a fancy new suit and everything. Look, I can make new stuff too. Wow! As the dude, like, that art's fucking nuts. He turns his shit into like some giant-ass guns. Huh? I think you're looking for me. Chasm? Now that's a really cool kind of fly-in for Chasm and art style-wise as he gets them. Name doesn't ring a bell, but I hope you have a taste for lead because I'm about to feed you my hands? Blame the psychoreactive goo. Don't worry, it won't last long. But neither will you. Blam! Then we get nice here. It's like, ooh. Change the world. New Heroes Assemble, January 2025. Ben, Peter, got a sec? Now this is pretty interesting, and I like that we're able to see the differences between Peter and Ben here. But it's mainly like talking heads, so we don't get much until we get towards the kind of end of it. But we get a good amount in the beginning, and then we get this. First job Beyond sent me on taking Bushwhacker out before he could put a hit on some oil men. So when Marcus told me Bushwhacker was looking for payback, you went looking for him. That's why you showed up so quickly. Sure. Say, I wanted to thank you for your help during the Osborn situation. I would have been in real trouble if you hadn't snapped me out of the Winkler Vices programming back in 946. I thought my cure was going to kill you there for a second. Oh well, that would have been bad. Sure. So, how are things with Janine? Eve? What do you call her? Anything but MJ. Got confused once and I'm still hearing about it. That'd be nasty. But she's good. Thanks for asking. We try to do our own things when we can. She read that was important in a relationship book. That's really great, Ben. A lot of good stuff in those things. As they're pretty much just sitting as man, it's cool that you guys are alright. So, kind of feel like I'm driving here. What did you want to talk about, Ben? I'll get to the point. Last time we sat down together, I told you I was going to be Spider-Man for Beyond. I got the sense you were worried if I wanted your life for myself. No, Ben. I just thought, look, I don't want to drum up old. You were right. I did want it. But I've been talking to Janine about it a lot. I'm not obsessed with you anymore, Peter. I'm ready to move on. I need to find my own life. I need space from you to do it. I'm asking for a ceasefire. Are you for real? It's like, yes. Question, Peter. Question it. Sure. I've been stuck in your orbit for too long. That's going to end. You won't have to look over your shoulder anymore. Well, I can't give you space if you're hurting people. You have to keep your nose clean, but if you're serious, I can give you a chance to prove it. Look, Ben, I've got to go. Jonah keeps calling me about a color-obsessed alien we fought a few years. You know what? It's too ridiculous to even talk about. This one's on me. Peter, thank you. You're welcome. I'm rooting for you, Ben. And he is. A funny thing happens when you find out your life is a lie. More lies don't seem like that big of a deal. Well, to certain people. So this is leading up to the MJ one. Told Peter 3 whoppers today. I wasn't looking for Bushwhacker. I was looking for him. I told him it'd be bad if he was gone, when a part of me wants nothing more. And then there was the biggest fib of all. He asked if I'm for real, and I said yes. We both know I'm not real, Peter. My life is a shadow. You live in the light, and so I watch and wait for my chance to take it all back. And I really like the Chasm thing there, and of course we see the MJ part, so we will have to see what's going to be going on with Chasm later. So then we pretty much get the ride over with Joe Kelly and Mark Buckingham as the artist. This one's really interesting because this really gives me vibes of old school kind of Spidey art. Queens, somewhere on Jackson Avenue. Speaking as an armchair expert on the subject, there seem to be 3 kinds of gangsters. The hide my money in my significant other's / grandma's mattress type. The I built a military grade bunker / casino to house my millions type. And the I took a Crypto Bros online course and now trade billions with the big dogs type. Billions with a B. P.S. I eat ramen 3 times a week from my third-hand armchair, and I also save the world. But I digress. It's like, those covered the good broad points of the gangsters. The Night Bank is the hub of money laundering, international asset distribution, and probably more than a few art NFTs for the tech-savvy criminal element on the East Coast. And I'm not going, like that at Spidey. The explanation is just like, as we get a nice kind of Spidey shot being like, as he's got the web wings, I think. Yeah. The biggest brains in crime have unfettered access to financial markets, banks, and the blockchain, allowing instantaneous financial shenanigans around the world. God. So long as it's being used by greedy crime lords, it's just another cornerstone of the world economy. All hail capitalism. There are superior candidates. It's like, what the hell? Who the hell is this person? And they're talking in green. That becomes important. Steve Rogers, Thor, T'Challa. So these are people that he was also considering. Self-righteous. Not of Earth, not on Earth. Still, there are scores of self-proclaimed heroes to choose from. But today's regularly scheduled fiscal impropriety was interrupted by, hold on, I have to get this right, a new FU anarcho barterist? I can't even, it's override, it's override. I love how he's trying to talk about the handle. I was like, no, whoever the fuck this is. Who I'm not even familiar with. So, that dude looks like an asshole. Stronger, faster, less verbose. True. As Spidey pretty much cobbles some shit together and puts it on his head. It's like, okay. However, though he does prattle like a frightened calf, apparently Override wants to destabilize the world financial system so he can control it. And from the Night Bank, I think he can actually do it. It's like, come on, Spidey, do what you need to do. His intelligence cannot be denied. While I'd probably enjoy watching billionaires try to score a bottle of Aqua di Cristallo in a money-free world, some call him a genius so long as he maintains focus. Yeah, that is actually a pretty good hit there. It depends upon the creative team of what Spidey's trying to do. Overriding their accounts means billions of normal people getting gutted as well. Exactly. Pete's thinking in the long term. Which he does when the welfare of the innocent is at stake. Exactly. This man has proven time and again his conviction that the needs of the many outweigh his own. As we see Spidey knocking people out, crawling on walls, trying to stop Override. Despite the objective imbalance of physical strength and resources, he engages far superior foes. True. And often to unheralded success, while at the same time suffering greatly. Great suffering will be required in the works ahead, as we see him kind of getting through, knocking people out, and doing what he needs to do. Problem is, Override cannot hijack my tech with a snap of his fingers. Then, do who knows what if he gets a second to think. Cop. Idiot! This is a delicate operation. When does a cop in the midst of greatness? Don't look up. Second is a long time. Not as long as 12.5 minutes. Time to log off. You have a big day in prison tomorrow. As we see that he pretty much used the dude to scare the shit out of him and then drop down and put another kind of helmet thing on his ass as it pretty much blitzes him. Which is how long it took me to design and kit bash a microfield electronical impulse disruptor from random equipment Override outfitted his goons with. That's fucking awesome. Nailed it. And all the money in the world is saved by your friendly neighborhood ramen man. Enough. It is decided. It is correct. Spider-Man will be my champion in the Covenant. He will fight, not for me, but for them. He will suffer for them. Spider-Man will die for them, and die again and again. So says Doom. To be continued in Amazing Spider-Man 61 with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. And that is a really good shot of Doom there. And just really evokes like the classical kind of era. It's like, yeah. Then we get kind of the fan pages. Of course, getting the whole thing that 8 Deaths of Spider-Man runs from 61 to 70. So we'll see how that works out. And of course, we've already seen the next kind of cover issue. God damn. Guinness does really good Spidey work too. So, I overall really enjoyed this. I got my money's worth, I believe, but I want you guys to know that it's $7.99, and if you're like, fuck that noise, fuck that shit, I don't even want to check that shit out, cool. I have the knowledge, have the info, make your decision. That's cool. I always want to make that. But I loved seeing how Tombstone got wrapped up, how the rest of the things, I mean, this, for me, did a really good job of wrapping up all the kind of loose ends that Zebwell had, and then also putting other things in play. Chasm being in play, Mary Jane being Jackpot, her and Spidey having a really kind of cool relationship. I loved the little bit about Spidey and Wolverine. That was just a classic little thing. Having Wreck-Rap to be played with. I liked that we got Aunt May pretty much calling out Spider-Man, and then her actually having a good conversation like, you almost got killed. You need to take care of yourself, Peter, and he does need to take care of himself. He needs to find that balance of being able to help other people and not completely fucking himself over. And I think he can get that kind of balance. We'll have to see how Wreck-Rap pops up into things. Ben is going to make some crazy-ass shit, and the 8 Deaths is going to be gnarly. So that's going to be the thing that takes precedence going forward for the next issues. So we'll see how that kind of works out. I know they're going to be shuffling between who's writing and who's doing art and everything like that. We'll have to see how that works out. I've liked how Zeb Wells has written Peter's voice and how he's kind of worked out with the character. And I know that's not a popular opinion with like everybody around. And people can disagree with me on that. That's fine. It's really hard to find Spidey stuff that kind of gets that, and I was able to find that, and I'm glad for that. We'll see how the next kind of creative team goes. I will be looking into like Ultimate Spider-Man and all that to see how Hickman does that with Peter. I don't know. I have to read more Hickman. I was reading it when he was in the beginning with stuff with like his Avengers and all that. And I liked what he did with like Gods, the stuff that I was looking into as well. So we'll see what works on with that. I have heard good things about Ultimate Spider-Man and what they've been doing out there. We'll see how they work with Amazing Spider-Man here. And how 8 Deaths works, how that shift's going to be going on, and how long they're going to have this kind of shifting kind of creative team kind of feel for it. We'll see how that works out. I might look into different kind of Spidey ones, maybe Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, other ones, see what kind of works into this kind of effect and how it kind of works out. I understand that like comics have this with like creative teams of what kind of goes on, and I can understand being frustrated with Peter being put into weird fucking situations where he keeps doing status quo stuff, doing stupid kind of stuff, and having weird things and being reinvented and retooled, and just been in this kind of, oh god, same kind of situations as before, and how we get back to certain kind of status quos with things. I get that frustration. Sometimes you want actual kind of character growth and moving and setting of new status quos to have different kind of explorations for those status quos. Kind of like ones with like Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, and all that. And the X-Men as well. And being afraid of that, understanding that kind of fear with like the ending of the Krakoa era, which was an interesting step forward, even though I didn't read that stuff, into the From the Ashes, and you're like, oh god, mutants on the back foot again. Are we getting essentially another M-Day kind of scenario? What's kind of going on there? We'll see with those things, but I understand those trepidations, I understand those criticisms, and being annoyed by them. So I like this because it really got to the heart of like Peter and Spider-Man helping people, and Lonnie kind of still winning and being in the wind, but knowing that Peter still kind of won because he was making sure that Lonnie didn't kill his daughter. Rabbit being like, fuck you, buddy, and then just having our kind of set up to, I just want to know how fucking Peter is going to deal with Doom, and it'd be like, yes, you picked your champion, Doom. Do you understand exactly what you have done here? And I also want to see how that Spidey outfit is, because that is a very interesting kind of one. I like the kind of different kind of aspect, and I want to see what it kind of does. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.